We've seen a lot in the media about, the licence trade generally complaining about lower drink driving limits, about the smoking ban and that having an impact on business. How have you been able to counter that?
I think it's very easy to blame other factors for decline in drinking trends. And to be fair, there is a decline in drinking trends. But there's an increase in people who come out to socially, they will have a drink with friends, but it's not necessarily alcoholic, or they'll come out to eat. There's that side of things has definitely developed. So while it's easy to blame other things, you tend to find the pubs that are suffering most are the pubs that aren't developing, aren't adapting, aren't evolving, and people aren't investing in their own pubs.
There's been a huge rise in premium brands in things like gin and vodka. Has that been an important part of the change for your business and keeping people interested?
I would say, to be fair, that's how we started our business. Bar One was the first ever bar in Inverness to have an all premium speed rail. So when you asked for a vodka and coke, you didn't get Smirnoff or Glen's. We poured with a premium brand. When you asked for a gin, you got a premium brand and so on. So that's always been part of what we've set us apart from the competition, is that we want everyone to have access to the premium brands. There has been a huge development, especially as you say in gin, and people are becoming more aware that there's a choice out there, that there's, you don't have to stick to the same old, and people are quite excited about exploring those brands and those flavours, and that has definitely been key to certainly this style of bar, key to its success.
And moving to the area of the licensing laws in Scotland, that's something else that we often hear about, and the fact that it almost encourages binge drinking. I mean, what's your take on licensing laws in Scotland at the moment?
I think licensing laws, I'm going to put my political head on now, I think licensing laws in Scotland are fair. I think the way that they are distributed isn't fair. For instance, what we've seen is a huge rise in people drinking heavily at home, binge drinking before they come out. And the licensing laws, once they're in our pub, if they get near our pub, they don't actually have to be in our pub. Once they're at our door, they then become our responsibility. So they could have been drinking 2 bottles of vodka, arrive at our door and pass out, and the blame is then put on us even though they haven't been in our premises. And I think that's very unfair. Supermarkets are given almost carte blanche to sell what they want, to have whatever price they want, even if they make a loss on it. Whereas pubs, with all of the taxes on alcohol and for pubs and restaurants, we can't even compete with that. Not that we'd want to, but I think in terms of licensing, something has to be done to keep the customers safe. And right now, they're almost encouraged by supermarkets, and the licensing laws are encouraging binge drinking at home, where there's nobody to look after them, where there's nobody to make sure they're safe, nobody to cut them off when they've had too much, and it's a very unsafe environment, I feel.